Angel Foot Massage, QuickBooks Video 14, performing a service for a Groupon customer. Performing a service for a Groupon customer is very similar to performing a service from a gift certificate customer. The only thing you have to note is there is some extra information that you put on the invoice, and after you make the invoice, you should put in the notes of that specific customer the details of the visit. Of course, after you deliver the service to a Groupon customer, unearned from Groupon will decrease, and income from the specific service will increase at the moment you perform the service, because less is unearned and less is owed to Groupon and more is earned for that particular service. You will make the same invoice that you made for the gift certificate customers. There's only two differences. Number one, you must choose Groupon as the customer who you are giving the service to, and you have to make sure that the income account you choose is unearned from Groupon. Unearned from Groupon. This will keep track of specifically what you owe to Groupon. Of course, you have to put the item, in this case, Angel Tees, will do too. And of course, with Groupon, you are going to change the rate of the service at the moment you make the invoice to whatever the negotiated rate is for Groupon. And you will have that on a separate list somewhere in your computer. Now, of course, you want to put in the memo the name of the customer whom you serviced, and then the name of the service, and you can put any other information you need to put in the memo. But again, the customer is Groupon, so that you can keep track of what you owe Groupon when they pay you, and the income account is, the account receivable account is unearned from Groupon. Now when we save this, two things will happen. Yes, you must apply the credit to the invoice. Yes, you agree that that's the credit and that's the invoice. You click Done. Take a look. Unearned from Groupon is now down by $30, and income from Angel Tees has now increased by $30. You are not finished after you make a Groupon invoice. After you make a Groupon invoice, you need to go to the Customer Center and put in the notes of that particular customer, the date and time, etc., that the customer was visited. So, we go to Customers in the Customer Center, and we said in this particular case it was Jeff, so I guess we'll have to add Jeff, and we'll have to make sure that Jeff is a Groupon customer, because you might add him at the minute he comes in. Okay? Now, in the notes, again, when you click a different part of the Customer Center, a different field comes here. In Jeff, in specifically the notes for Jeff, you have to click New Note. At the bottom, you have to click Manage Notes. At the bottom, you click Manage Notes, Add New, and this is a new note specifically for Jeff. Now, what you want to do is explain the service. Gave Jeff 2 Angel Tees at Groupon rate $15 per. You might also want to put in the notes anything that refers back to the payment. This was from Groupon payment, Groupon payment of January 15th, 2013. So that this way you know which payment from Groupon was applied to this particular service for Jeff. And now date and time stamp. Hit enter a couple of times and your next note for Jeff will come under. Let me actually bring up the date and time stamp and then click OK. Now, This is the date that you entered the note. This comes from the computer. And this is the note. If you want to see it, you can double click. And each new note you add gets added under. If you do another service for Jeff, after you make the invoice, gave him 1 angel teas, and then of course you date and time stamp the note, click OK, and then of course the second note appears here. So for the Groupon customers, not only do you have them categorized as Groupon customers, but for the a non-Groupon customer has no notes, but Jeff, the Groupon customer, you can see the notes of every visit he gave as it relates to the payment that came from Groupon.